Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna and today is going to be my 26-week pregnancy update. I have not done a pregnancy update in a while, so I wanted to come on and just do a quick little update. I actually have symptoms now. I feel like the past few updates I really haven't even had any pregnancy symptoms, but as I'm getting bigger and we're getting closer, I have been experiencing symptoms now. So this will be a short little update on all the things that have been going on since 20 weeks pregnant. So got a big chunk of time to cover. Oh, before I do get into the update, if you are new here, this is my second baby girl on the way. So I have an 18-month-old daughter and now we're expecting our second daughter in April. So now into the update. So I'm reading off of the Bump app, just little average statistics. So at 26 weeks, baby is the size of a bunch of kale. I feel like it's kind of a weird comparison because, I don't know, it's not like the shape of a baby or anything, but a bunch of kale. Baby is about 14 inches long and about 1.6 pounds. It's so crazy to think that like in your belly right now, like it looks like a fully formed baby. It's just so tiny. I always like to look at pictures of like preemie babies, which it's sad because they're preemie, but they just look so perfect and formed, and it's so crazy to think that they're like capable of surviving with medical help at this point. So that's really comforting and exciting. But I just think pregnancy and birth and everything revolving like reproduction is such a miracle, and it just shows me how like amazing God is to make everything and designs everything to work out so perfectly. Anyway, off of that side tangent. So that's 26 weeks. Now onto my symptoms. So I haven't had like too much symptoms, but I do know that in the past few weeks I've been so uncomfortable, like way more uncomfortable than I was with my daughter's pregnancy at this point. I remember at 30 weeks with her that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make it 10 more weeks. I'm so uncomfortable. And I'm already at that point now. And I'm not even as big as I was with her. So I don't know if it's just because it's like my second pregnancy, or I'm like more tired chasing around a toddler, or just my health in general. I'm not sure what it is, but like my hips and my legs and my back and just my belly in general is so uncomfortable, and it's really hard to like walk around sometimes, but I know that it will go away when the baby is here, so I can hang on a little bit longer. The other thing is this baby is so crazy, like so hyper in there, and Josh, my husband, thinks it's funny because when we're talking about names, I'm like, no, that name doesn't fit her personality, like no, that doesn't fit, and he's like, what, like how can you even tell that right now? But I swear I can. Like, I can just tell what she's gonna be like because of the way she moves around and interacts in my belly. And it's so different than her sister. It's very different, and she's way more active in there. It almost sometimes feels like she's like shaking. And I do remember that happening with Hazel, and I got a little bit freaked out at first. It seems to be a common thing, and it's just like, at the point where they're small enough where there's still a lot of room, so your amniotic fluid is just like waving. And then as they get bigger, the movements feel more solid and like kicks, you know. But she's so hyper, always active. Now in the past week, she's probably gotten a little less active because she's finally getting a schedule. I read on my app that this week they can like start to notice light from outside the belly, so that's why maybe they're starting to get a sleep rhythm. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but I do notice in the middle of the night when I wake up, she's not moving as much. And then during the day, she's just like, she is gonna be one hyper little girl, I think. So we're in for it, but I'm excited and ready. The next thing, I don't know if it's pregnancy related or if it's my stomach itself, but I have just been getting super bad stomach aches, and not even my normal digestion problem stomach aches, but like just a constant full and sour feeling up high in my stomach. And it's not heartburn, it's like, it feels like when I eat something I'm sort of like allergic to or sensitive to, and my stomach like balloons up and it just burns sort of. I don't know how to explain it, but that's been happening a lot, and it's very frustrating because I feel like I don't ever want to eat anything because I don't know what's causing it or if food is even causing it, but I'm ready for that to be gone. So another symptom I've been experiencing a lot is trouble sleeping, and I just think it's from being uncomfortable because I can't get comfortable at all during the night. But yeah, sleep has been very hard to get lately. I do sleep in intervals, but it's not like good sleep, and I wake up so much that it feels like I'm not sleeping. So I've been really tired from that, and I'm sure that doesn't help with the uncomfortable feeling, and also the uncomfortable feeling doesn't help with sleep. So it's just a never-ending cycle that I'm ready for that to be done as well. I feel like I'm getting a little bit like it's not all magical rainbows and butterflies this time around. Like when I was pregnant with Hazel, it was much harder of a pregnancy, but even the hard times, I was like, this is so amazing. Like I just loved every single part of it. And this time I still love being pregnant just because, I don't know, I'm just the type of person that really likes being pregnant and think it's really cool. But I'm kind of like sort of done already. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to have my baby out with me now. But luckily it's going so fast. Like, I cannot believe we only have 3 months left. What? Like, that's insane and kind of scary, but very exciting as well. All right, the last symptom I've been experiencing is my Braxton Hicks contractions, and I've actually started feeling them very early. I remember feeling my first Braxton Hicks contractions this pregnancy as early as 9 weeks, and they say that you can feel them sooner because you know what it feels like and things like that. But yeah, I've been feeling them since 9 weeks, but in the past probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks even, they've gotten so intense that they feel almost like early labor. I'll be like just sitting on the couch and one will come on and I'm like, I gotta like lean back and take a breath and just like breathe through it sort of. And it's not like I can't talk through it or anything or can't breathe through it, but I'm sort of just practicing in my mind going through my breathing techniques because it helped a lot during labor. Is just practicing throughout pregnancy. So I'm doing that again, but this time it's like more necessary because they're so intense and almost painful. And I don't know why that is, if it's, again, because it's a second pregnancy, so your uterus is like working more because it already knows what to do. I don't know, I'm just kind of making stuff up as I go now, but definitely strong and intense. And I even like, Josh is probably getting so annoyed because it probably happens once a night where I'm like laying in bed or on the couch and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so strong. Like it feels like an early labor contraction. It's strange, but I really love the sensation of Braxton Hicks because it reminds me that my body knows what it's doing and it's practicing and working to get stronger. So I really enjoy them. As I don't know if that sounds weird or if any of you have experienced that as well, as like just kind of appreciating the Braxton Hicks contractions, but yeah, that has been another major symptom. But that's all for my symptoms. I did just want to throw it out there now that in my last update I decided to stay at the hospital, and that just didn't sit right with me once I like made that decision. I thought it did for a while and then it didn't, and I've decided to see midwives at a birth center and just kind of see how it goes, because I know that if I did go into labor and go to the hospital, they're not going to be like, go home. You know, they're going to take me no matter where you are. They would take you at a hospital. But for now I've chosen to see midwives, and we're going to talk about my placenta and do another ultrasound and just talk about, you know, try and ease my mind. The midwives that I have talked to on the phone and on virtual things have really seemed not concerned at all about my circumvallate placenta, which has reassured me a lot, and I'm looking forward to getting that second opinion ultrasound and also just to check on baby and make sure she is growing. But they were saying that it is so rare, but the times that they've seen it, you don't notice it until until birth, so it's shocking that they like noticed it on my ultrasound. And also my midwife said that the only circumvallate placenta births that she has done, they have never had like any issues with it. So she said we're just gonna try and plan ahead and probably talk about more active management of bleeding before we get to that third stage of labor, because that could be one of the issues is, you know, extra bleeding. And with my retained placenta last time, my body just doesn't seem to do that third stage of labor very well. So we're just gonna try and talk about options as we get there. But I'm really excited. I have my first appointment very soon, like my first in-person appointment there. And ultimately, I feel a lot better with my decision because although I am more scared for labor this time just because I have been researching too much on this certain condition I have, I feel very confident in like my body's ability to know what to do properly, and also knowing that the birth center is very prepared in case of emergency, and we're right next to a hospital in case of emergency. It makes me feel a lot more at peace, and knowing that I'll get to have a more peaceful, natural birth experience than I did last time hopefully will prevent me from having that same birth injury again. So that's so far what I've decided, and you know, we'll see. We're just gonna go with the flow, and if things change, but for now, that is my decision, and I feel a lot better about that decision than sticking with the hospital. So I can talk more about that in a different video, just about the birth center and the hospital and things like that. But I feel like it's a good decision, and I'm praying and hoping for a peaceful and smooth labor and delivery with no complications. So I would appreciate if you'd be praying for that as well, because to be honest, I am kind of actually pretty scared for this time around. And it stinks because I was not scared before I got news of this placental condition I supposedly have. So I just wish I could go back to being like, you know, the blissful ignorant state where you don't know anything's wrong, so it just feels like hopeful and you're looking forward to it. I just wish I could go back to that, so I'm hoping that after my 32-week ultrasound, I will feel more at peace with that. So that is all for this video. That's all for this update. Sorry that I've been slacking. I know I say that every update I do, but it's kind of just how it is now. I feel like this pregnancy has been a lot less eventful than my first one, probably because I've done it before and I don't notice as many of the symptoms because I'm busy with my child now. But I'm still appreciating every moment that I get to be pregnant, and every moment that she's cooking in there, getting closer to being ready to meet us out here. So I appreciate you guys watching and supporting and just rooting for us from afar or near, wherever you're at. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you back next time. Bye!